all of you guys who are tweeting on hashtag 1010. Like I told you, tonight we are talking about relationships, especially after men conference. And we have different people to walk us through this discussion. And I want to introduce them. I want you guys to show appreciation and make some noise for them. So let's start with, he is a radio presenter and also quite the controversial guy. Make some noise for Mr. Andrew Kibe. Wanaijua.
Know the song?
Yes, they know the song.
Fantastic.
Wanaijua. All right, next up.
I see some beautiful people here. Not this guy, but this one here.
And it's her birthday. Actually, in about 20 minutes, it's going to be her birthday. So, wewe uko na macho ya kiroho.
Niko na maono.
Uko na maono.
Lakini wewe umejuaje ni birthday yake?
No, sisi ni familia hapa.
Kidogo hapa.
Sisi ni familia.
Basi alizaliwa lini? Huyo
alizaliwa 1920. All right, up next, also to help us put perspective in this conversation, he's a motivational speaker. He's also an amazing cook. He makes the best ribs in town. Make some noise for Amadou Chico! All right, and finally, like I said, sisi hapa ni familia, so you must get perspective from one of our own. Make some noise for Madam Diana Wilkesa. Welcome. Karibu sana. So welcome everybody. All right, let's get this conversation going, and I'll start with you, Andrew Kibe. You saw what happened when Valentine's Day lianza, watu wakasema mambo ya men's conference, and we're talking about relationships today. Does that mean that my boy child walisikia pressure for it to trend, the memes and everything? What is wrong with the relationships siku hizi in your view?
Boy child wamechoka. We're tired. Right? We're tired. We're tired of always paying for all this stuff. The boy child yesterday said no. Wakasema hapana bana, leo twende tujivinjari, just the boys. We had a good conference, amaje? Good conference, we talked about many things. Asa wasichana wakae kando kidogo, waache wanaume wajitawale kidogo, sio?
So in your view,
my Swahili is on point.
Put it here. So in your view, do you feel like in relationships generally men wananyanyaswa? You're talking the wrong way.
Yeah, tangu 1976 wanaume wamenyanyaswa sana. 1976 is when I was born though. So my dad has been under pressure. Yeah, but it's a high time everybody got their place, and the men are coming up now. I'm very proud of them. By maybe next week kutakuna wanaume hawatakuja hapa tena because they'll be busy, si ndio? Hawatakuja hapa, tuko busy. You'll be working for your wife. Yeah.
That's much better. Try it.
Is it better?
There you go. Yeah. That's
Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. This guy was just 1976 is when we decided to change this narrative. And the men are coming up now. Wanaume, oh yeah! Ah, bas.
All right. Okay. Acha niulize the lady, what do you feel about relationships sasa hivi? Do you feel men need to still step up? Ama unadhani men wanafanya vibaya, boy child anadhulumiwa, ama it is just that ladies don't discover, they now know their identity?
Okay, saseni. One thing neza sema, wanaume squeeze hadi sijui niseme nini. Squeeze amko nyinyi, unaona? Unasema nifungue roho, acha nifungue roho. Okay, wanaume mnatubebanga ndogo. Si ni madem, pia si tunajieza, si ati hatujiezi. So msitubebe ndogo, tunajieza. Yeah, tunajieza.
Mnajieza. All right. Amadou, what do you think? What do you feel about the relationships right now? The conversation that's going on, men and in their position in relationships vis-a-vis the women and what's happening, especially since the men's conference was trending so much. It might have been fun with memes and everything, but I think those are underlying issue.
Yeah, first, I don't understand Kiswahili, so I was trying to catch up with everything they were saying. But I think what's happening is that we confuse relationships and sex, right? So for most people, being in a relationship today is about sex. And that's because most of the people of this generation, our generation, when we were younger and we were discovering ourselves, our parents, our friends, our big brothers didn't educate us on sexuality. Most of us were educated through porn, right? And the men, we learned that if you were outgoing, if you were provocative, if you were stylish, you could get laid. And so all we thought about was getting laid. And so you have a whole generation of men today, one thing that we don't talk about, in their 30s who are impotent, who are, early, can't do anything, simply because in our youth, we were having a lot of sex. Now you get in a relationship with a woman that you love, and you and I, for example, we before you even got married, you remember, we had a lot of these conversations. Yeah. And until you step up to actually take responsibility for your own life, you end up with a woman that you don't love, that you don't respect, and that you don't commit yourself to.
Well, one question. You talked about having men are having too much sex, and that is affecting their sex life.
Definitely.
How is that possible?
Now that's the thing. That's the thing.
How can you practice to be a footballer and then be bad at football?
Yeah, you see,
it doesn't make sense.
You see.
The more you have sex, the better you become.
I disagree. I disagree.
Please.
I completely disagree. I completely disagree. And why I disagree? Why I disagree is because it is not a muscle, just like your brain. The more you read, the smarter you become. It's not the same thing. When you have sex, it's like you pushed a beetle up a hill for 2 kilometers. And the time you spend running after women, and we know this, the time you spend running after women, you're not effective in building a business. The time you spend running after women and running after sex and after lust, you cannot develop your own personal life. That's the mistake that we're not teaching this generation. We're telling them that sex is acceptable. We're telling them that fun is normal, while we're not encouraging them to build their future. If you build your future with a woman who believes in you, like he's doing right now.
Thank you very much.
Right? I'll tell you. Right? I'm giving a practical example. Right? I had my first interaction with sex at 14. Right? My goal then was to have sex with every single nationality in the world. That's what I thought was success.
It's still my goal right now.
Well, it's a wrong goal, my friend. It's a wrong goal. Because that will not make you a billionaire. You're not going to be focused.
But I'm going to die happy.
No, you won't be happy. I can guarantee you won't be happy.
All right. Hold on. Let's hear from Wilkista. You had a rebuttal. You can't talk to someone.
I was to say, most of the men nowadays, they are like, wanafanya hit and run. Wakishapata dem, anaenda. Wakishapata dem, anaenda. So what's that? Be yourself. Kuna tika dem, stick on one chick. Nani hivyo, si ati mambo na ruka hapa.
So, Andrew, what do you think? Have you been dissuaded from a notion? Do you think though that it is true though that like she's saying that these days it's more hit and run, haraka upesi, touch and go sort of situation? Do you think that touch and go kind of situation makes it difficult to crystallize and form a meaningful, lasting relationship?
It's not important to form a lasting relationship. What you need to know is that if you go somewhere and you like someone, you don't have to pitch tent there. Okay? Sometimes ukienda kwa restaurant, useme leo nataka kula KFC. Simaanishi nataka kula KFC kila siku. Ni leo tu. Usiniite ati mimi ni top customer, mimi si top customer. Ni leo tu, kesho nataka nikule Kenchick. The next day nikule kwa mama sijui nani. Usiniweke pressure nikule tu mahali pamoja. Nini bana wewe?
Pia si poa kuchagua, stick on one thing. Si poa kunyemelea everywhere.
Yeah.
Tulia pali pamoja.
Yeah. So
unachagua kila mahali yani.
Yeah. So basically, for Amadou's sake, what they're saying is that you don't have to. He's saying that you can. It's not every day.
He said, right?
Yeah, he said
exactly.
You don't have to. Stick to one person. You can go to. Okay, they haven't paid for. You can go to a place that makes chicken today, and go to another place that makes chicken the other day, and she's saying that it's important to stick to one person. What do you think?
I want to tell them something.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're a handsome man.
Very handsome.
Yes,
very handsome.
And you know it, right? You know it. Now let me tell you this: you're gonna have in your genes a very beautiful daughter. I can guarantee you that. You'll have a very beautiful daughter. She'll be, if she's dark, she'll be beautiful. And one of these young men, one of these young guys, right, who believes the same philosophy,
yes,
is gonna know that it's your daughter.
Yes.
And he comes from a place where he was taught that for him to succeed, he needs a woman who's gonna open doors for him.
Yes.
So he's gonna date your daughter intentionally,
yes,
so that you can open doors for him.
Yes.
You love your daughter.
Totally.
You love her with all your heart, right?
Willing to die for her.
But you haven't built the culture of giving her that self-confidence to say no to men, to respect herself in a way that no man can treat her as an object. Let me just finish. I'm giving an example. Because you're preoccupied by building your legacy, probably you're not faithful to the mother. The example you give to her is what she'll look in a man.
Yes.
Now, one of these young men goes to her university in a very nice car that he borrowed from someone. Takes her to a very nice restaurant where he took the money as a loan to take her out. All he wants is your contacts. So he uses your daughter to get your contacts. You understand? Your daughter is in love with him. She's madly in love with him because she doesn't know love. Like most of the young girls of our generation, they don't know love. You know why? Because we screwed their minds up. We made them think we loved them, but we didn't. Right? So they don't know what love is. Am I wrong? They don't. So they fall in love with this guy because he tells you you're beautiful, you're smart, I love your eyes. Oh, you have your dad's nose. You look like your dad. You should be on TV. You understand? Oh, I love your voice. Your voice is so sensual. And she falls for him. You will lose your fortune. I can guarantee you that because you love your daughter. If we as men of today, do not change the way we educate the other young men who are growing up, because of the way we were educated, we're gonna screw up a whole generation of young women. And it's happening in universities, and we know this because we've been there. We've gotten laid in different countries with different nationalities. So we know what it is. But then over time, you want to be able to learn from your own mistakes. So you don't want to get married like him, like myself. If I see him with another woman in the street, I'm going to slap his head. I'll do it. I'll do it. You know why? You know why? You know why? Because he's a public figure. Other young men look up to him. He can have problems in his family like we all do, that's okay. But he cannot set a bad model. Yeah. I won't allow it. So I disagree respectfully. I disagree respectfully with what you said. I don't think that this generation, if we want people to start building businesses, building empires, right? Building the future of leadership in Africa, it's not this way we're doing it. This
yes, even as you respond, Martin Mwemeye says relationships are tricky. When should you know each other sexually? Mwingine pia hapa anasema hakuna mapenzi siku hizi. That's Isaac Gregory. Anasema vijana wanatafuta hela, hakuna mkate ngumu mbele ya chai. Tutafuta hela, hawana viumbe, hatuwezi. Then Sammy the poet says some girls demand too much, yet they're not even worth it. Even as you give your...
You know, you have to understand one thing.
Yeah.
When a man and a woman go out, please don't waste any time. Don't waste any time trying to get there. You guys just jump there, find out igi to ego, ama aguna. Alright? Because sometimes you might waste a lot of time waiting. You can ask, yeah. So you might spend a lot of time wasting time waiting. Like this chick right now, she may tell me, "Oh, Kibe, I want us to wait 3 weeks, 3 months." Waste of time. It doesn't matter whether we do it today or we do it 3 months from now. My mind is the same. Kama iko. Kama hakuna.
All right. Yes, you have a question.
I have 2 questions actually. Yes. What's your aim on a girl? Alafu, what after dem for one thing, ama unatafuta dem ku build life na yeye?
99.9% of all the men who've ever gotten married, and I want to say this right now on your television station. 99.9%, right? Yeah. Including Mr. Good Suit here, right? 99.9% of all the men who got married because of pressure. They didn't want to get married.
That's a lie. Right? That's a lie.
Hey.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I'll give it a chance. That's a lie. That's a lie. That is a lie.
Wait.
That is a lie.
Okay, hold on.
This man.
That is a lie.
Let me tell you.
That is a lie. That is a lie.
I'll
give an example if you allow me. I'll give an example if you allow me.
Yeah.
Allow me.
Mr. Good Suit, I was about done.
Hold on. Let him finish.
I interfere.
I was about done.
I interfere.
You cannot wear a suit like that and interfere.
I interfere. I'm going to give an example.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give an example. I came here in 2014. 2014. I was married and single. Huh? That's the confusion. That's the confusion that a lot of men are living in today. You were in an unhappy marriage. You left that marriage. The marriage is not finished, but you're still with other women. So you're telling them,
wait, say that again.
Married, single. The confusion that a lot of men are in. Okay? We met in 2014, him and I. 2015, you broke your leg.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's 2015. We met after he broke his leg. He was gonna get married. I remember this like clear. Even when I was in the cab coming, it was in my mind again. I met him. He was about to get married. He looked like what you say, that 99% of people. And I told him, I said, you don't get married because of pressure. You don't get married because someone tells you. He's here. He's a witness. When he says I'm a good cook, that's my side. That's my hobby. I make the best ribs in this region. Right? The second time I met him, after that, he was healed. He was with his current wife. They came to my place in Tigoni for barbecue. Okay? They weren't married. They weren't even engaged. I remember it wasn't even engagement. But let me tell you one thing that I saw different in the same man in those two situations. In the first one, he had no choice. He was a man who had no mastery of himself. No mastery of himself. I could say 80% of his choices were not his own. Hence why probably he broke his leg, so that he can be able to think. Right?
It was an act of God.
God broke his leg so he can think. But when I met him the second time, with this lady who he's married to, the man was a man. He was in control of his life. So if it's 99.9%, if it's 99.9%, let me tell you, it's 99.9% of men who are not in control of their lives. That's why they're not happy. We who are 1%, we chose from experience. We chose from experience from God. We asked God, give us the wife who's going to lead us to you. Give us the wife who's going to help us. When I say I want to be president, my wife says I want to be first lady. That's the type of wife you want to have. So I disagree. I completely disagree, 100%. And I want to say it on the record. Anyone who tells you that marriage, that if you get married, you're going to be miserable, they're miserable themselves.
Now, Willis.
Hey, Baba.
Pastor Prophet here has told us a lot of things, right?
Hallelujah.
And because of that, right, I want to take back my 99% that I said, because he's really convinced me, right? Right now, I want to say categorically to everybody in this country, 100% of all the men have made a mistake and have gotten married, right? And right now are crying, including you, Willis.
It's a lie.
Right?
It's a lie.
It's a lie. You think Willis wants to be here?
It's a lie.
This guy is working because he wants to be away and
it's a lie.
So,
wacha niseme kama baba, nothing can be further from the truth.
but it's very obvious that we need to recognize that a lot of men are not supposed to be married. Let's just say the truth, right?
Why? Why do you say that, though?
Yeah?
Why do you say that?
No, I'm saying when it comes to characters, there are a lot of men who should not be married. And some of these men are like the ones who support the team called Arsenal.
Thank you very much.
Yes, those men should not be married. Those men should remain single forever. The ones who support Manchester United.
No, ngoja. Hola.
The ones who find themselves washing dishes. Yeah, wale wanapata wakiwasha moto pale nje. Watu wa Chelsea wale wanagongwa 6-0.
All right. Right. Okay, we have first of all we have to ask Will Kingston here a question. So in your view, do you personally believe that relationships work and they can lead to marriage?
Yeah, as for me, I know relationship works and they can lead to marriages. But kwa wanaume kama wanaume wenye hawajui aim ya relationship, hawezi enda mahali. Na aim yao si mnajua tu ni one thing. So after hapo ataenda kwa dem mwingine, after dem mwingine na mwingine. So wanaume, jueni relationship na mjue ina lead to a good thing. By the way, relationship husaidia by the way saa zingine. But kwa wale wanataka wana aim ya on one thing, endeleeni hata wabembelezi mnaweza enda. Hiyo ni life yenu. To the others wenye wanataka kubuild, wanaweza build. But kama hauwezi na umeshindwa, wewe endelea tu, hiyo ni life yako.
All right, there's somebody here who says on Twitter, Mendy234 says, right now many men just want to hit it, but the mistake is we ladies allow it too fast. So much already has been said, why not just wait if you can and see what the guy's intentions are? Men can be patient when it involves, they call it the 90-day rule. And then somebody says, the current generation relationship minus sex is 0. That is James Matheka. Masi Mutuku anasema hapa, Andrew Kibe is a total boy child. And then somebody is saying, Kibe is right on track, don't sugarcoat issues. And then somebody else says, nakubaliana, na Kibe. Okay, sawa Kibe. And then somebody says that sometimes struggling couples often lose track of the very basics of what makes a good relationship. As you focus on all that your partner is doing wrong, your own behavior also deteriorates. All right, I'm going to allow for final comments. I guess we'll have to have this conversation again because of time and as how heated it is. But I'll allow one question. Humphrey hapa amelia sana. Kuja ulize swali. All right, Alfred, go ahead.
Okay, I have a question for you. I have a question for you. In the current generation, Amadou, that is Chico. Okay, Chico, is it possible for somebody to be in a relationship but not in love? This is the sense. I might have a girlfriend whom we are in a relationship, but I don't have her. But I have a girlfriend whom I love, but I'm not in a relationship with her.
Yeah, Chico, what do you think?
All right. So I think the question is, do you really know what it means to be in love? Yeah. Right? Because if you knew what it meant to be in love and you are in love with someone, then you're somehow committed to that person, right? So you can't be in love with someone and then be with someone else. The two just can't work. Now, when we're young, like we are, the biggest mistake we make is we think that we know what we don't know. You understand? And that's why many of us have failed so many initiatives in relationships, in business, in anything you start, you fail, because you think you're so smart. You know, you think you know. Your parents are like, no, you don't know. I know, but you don't. You really don't know what it means to commit yourself to someone. Hence why I advise every single one of you not to have a child. Not even before marriage. Before you're 30. At least. Because you won't know how to raise them. Your parents even didn't know how to raise you. Think about it. Right? Some of our parents don't even know how to raise us, and we're having children. So a child is raising a child. What do you think the future of that child would be? So you're sleeping with the girl. You don't love her. You're lying to her. That already is wrong, right? That's making you more of a liar for other things, right? Because you're making up stories to her all the time. So you're developing that in your subconscious. You're becoming a liar, which is going to block other opportunities to you. But secondly, what you're doing, you're destroying her for another man, right? Because once you dump her, she will not trust men for a long time. And that's gonna have an effect on you. Just like you say, karma is a bitch, karma is really a bitch. You understand? So the best thing is, be honest with yourself. If someone you spend time with is not helping you develop, is not helping you grow, don't be with them. Go towards that person who you feel like, this person can help me become better. And for you to be with them, you also need to step up. You understand? And that's what you're afraid of. So this one is comfortable because she doesn't expect much from you, right? She's okay with the way you are. But the other one wants you to step up your game, and that's what's best for you. So go for that one you love, that one you want to spend time with, and become the man that she'll fall in love with.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
How many people have eaten at pale unakula pale kwa kibanda lakini una assume uko Kempinski? And unakuleo matumbo na ugali unasema I'm just at Kempinski. Let me tell you, people eat physically, but in their mind they're eating something else spiritually. Right? See, I don't know whether you understand me. What I'm eating here and what is in my mind is very different, right? So in Kenya we call it cover the face and fire the base.
All right, so that would be his final comment. What do you have to okay, to who?
To Kibe. At first, kwanza uko na bibi. Do you have a wife?
Yes. Do you?
As someone my age, by the way, let me tell you the truth. If someone tells you he's not married at my age, he's just lying to you. By now, us guys are experiencing second or third marriages. I'm serious. By the time you guys are getting to my age, you'll be experiencing second or third marriages. It's a reality. Hey, sasa mnajifanya mko in love. Hiyo love itaisha, muende mchukue mtu mwingine na mwingine na mwingine.
You haven't answered my question. Do you have a wife?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
I will say this, right? I will say this. The day I die, I won't look at the camera. The day I die, nataka mjue wale watu wataletwa wote ni wangu. Sawa? Hata mtu kutoka ziu Budalangi alete mtu huyu asema unu wa Kibe, unu wa Kibe. Itikia. Sawa? On paper, yes, I signed somewhere when I was young and foolish and said yes. Yeah.
All right, anyway. You had a comment to make even as a rapper.
Yes. Okay, the reason as to why I'm here is because of love. My father and my mother were in love, so that's why they created me. Sasa ungekuwa hapa kama parents wako wangekuwa in love. Okay, najua some pregnancies zilikuwa by mistake, but most of them zilikuwa poa. Na tuwezi sema ati wewe uliletwa ati juu ya makosa. Wewe si makosa. Unaona? Na ujajibu swali yetu. Do you have a wife?
Amesema aliandika pahali. Ako sawa. Wacha tuende.
I wish for you guys, I'm leaving, right? But I wish for you guys that one day you experience love, each and every one of you. Love is a beautiful thing. Don't run away from it, even for you. You look like a very confident young man, right? Don't run away from it. It's going to mess you up, but it's good, right? And then one day you'll sit here and tell people about all the mistakes that you made. But love is a beautiful thing. If you can experience it while you're young, mukipita hapa ukifika 23, love inaisha. After 23 there's no love. It's just bills, rent, what? Love disappears. I told you first.
All right. Final comments, Amadou.
All right, so I was going to offer this to you, but I think I'll offer it to him.
Yeah, what's the name of the book?
And to her as well.
It says start within to start winning.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think that one last thing that I would say, and this is to all of you, but to ourselves as well, is let's continue developing ourselves. Let's continue getting to fall in love with ourselves. Build a relationship with yourself. Because Kibe sounds like someone who's frustrated, right? And I can relate.
True.
I can relate. However, I believe in people like him, people like myself, and each and every one of us here, right? There's someone out there who makes us happy. You understand? There's someone out there who makes us happy. And sometimes we take those people for granted. You understand? Because of something we went through. Hence why it's important to work on yourself. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made in the past. Forgive yourself for the shortcomings. You understand? Once you do that and you love yourself, it'll be easier to forgive others and to love them also in their imperfection. This is not about motivational talk. It's just basic human, like human psyche. If you are not happy with yourself in the morning, you're going to take it out on other people during the day, right? So we're talking about relationships. Before you get into a good relationship with someone else, be in a great relationship with yourself. So each and every one of you, next St. Valentine's or this weekend that is coming, love yourself. I'm not saying you take porn and you masturbate. I'm saying love yourself for who you really are. Perfect. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. First of all, let's take a selfie before we hand it over so that we know there was no bad blood. All right. Well, I'd like to say thank you so much. We'll definitely have to have this conversation again because of just the way it was. I'm sure you guys had so many questions. Next time we'll open it up even more for you guys. For those of you at home, thank you so much for talking to us using the hashtag 10/10, and thank you as well Andrew and Wilkis and Chico for coming through. We really do appreciate. Like we said, at the end of the day, though ni wewe na mtu wako, like most people have said, you in any relationship, you guys form your own constitution. But the most important thing, as I always say, is that you need, like he said, love yourself, take care of yourself, and value yourself. And if you need help, always reach out. Reach out to your friends, your pastor, your a counselor if you have to, whatever, or Kibe apparently. Whatever you do, though, reach out and because actually, you need some radical views as well. There are people who actually, as you can see even on Twitter, there are many who are supporting Kibe, there are many who are supporting Amadou. That just tells you that people have different trains of thought, and that's what makes life interesting, that variety. But at the end of the day, ni wewe na mtu wako na Mungu wako. So you make up your mind and then you decide. Well, we want to toss it over to Fila on the other side of our studio. So don't go too far. 10 over 10 continues. Take it away, Mr. Philip Tuju, aka Fila.